Texas had a law for 50 years that prohibited the teaching in any other language except English, and that resulted in an 80% dropout rate among Spanish-speaking children in the state of Texas.
There's this American nativistic tradition that somehow or other, this is an English-speaking country, this is America. You're ready to deal in America when you're ready to speak English. Until you speak English and buy into our standard curriculum, you're just, greenhorn and outsider of the process. You ought to be satisfied with functioning in the labor market at this lower level.
The United States has always had a pretty big population of immigrants. Bilingual education has always existed with said immigrants. However, after the events of World War I, the American nativism mindset ran rampant in the 1920s due to the perceived threat of foreigners, mainly German Americans. This was apparent in aspects of culture, societal attitudes, and education. Many states had implemented English-only instruction laws in schools to Americanize German students. Mayer v. Nebraska was a court case from 1923 in which German teacher Robert C. Mayer openly taught German at a Lutheran school in Hampton, Nebraska. The court ruled in Mayer's favor, deciding that the former Nebraska statute that prohibited the teaching of foreign languages in parochial elementary schools was unconstitutional. Though it was one of the first court cases to discuss language learning other than English, the case did not apply to public schools. Fast forward to the 1970s, the need for aid of ELLs, English language learners, became apparent. The 1974 Supreme Court case, Lau v. Nichols, was brought forward by Chinese American students and their parents in the San Francisco area. The school district claimed they had done no wrong by providing what they deemed to be a quote-unquote equal education for all students. However, these students were not getting an equal education. They could not understand the English-only instruction that was placed in these schools, causing lower academic performance. Justice William Douglas disagreed with the district, saying that students who do not understand English are foreclosed from any meaningful education. Douglas claimed that those who do not understand English would not find any lessons that were taught to them meaningful. The Supreme Court decided that Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 protected children who lacked fluency in English from discrimination as well as their parents. Lau v. Nichols said that in order to provide these children their guaranteed rights to an education, schools must provide English language learning, whether that be in the form of programs or separate instruction for children who are ELLs. This would finally lead the path to students being able to fully understand what they're being taught.
How many pieces do I have now?
6.
6. Okay, ¿cómo le llamamos a uno de estos pedazos? What do we call one of this?
1 6.
Okay, Ramiro, would you please put...
Today, ELL education comes in many different forms. Models vary around the country, and especially when it comes to their goals. Some focus on gaining English fluency, while some focus on fluency in English and the native tongue. In recent years, data has shown that bilingual education has helped English language learners improve scores in both English language arts and math. Studies show that bilingual education supports both social, emotional, and socio-cultural outcomes of English language learners. In conclusion, we as Americans hold the responsibility to ensure an equal education to all children of all backgrounds of this nation. This means providing students with adequate aid they need in acquiring English proficiency to fully understand concepts being taught in classes, whether that be in sciences, mathematics, literature, and more. Children who lack English language fluency have the right to learn and keep up with their peers in academics. Bilingual education is incredibly important to the academic success and futures of English language learners.